På Vallen Hovin I Oslo var det en stor dag den 22. august. Da spilte nemlig Deep Purple og Status Quo her. Deep Purple, tungrockens mestere, var her I landet for 16 år siden, og jeg spurte bassisten Roger Glover hvordan de ble mottatt den gang.
As far as I can remember, it was great. I've been here since, of course, with different bands. I was here with Rainbow. So I've been to Oslo, but not as Deep Purple since those times.
Well, you've been in the music business all the time, but back together with the Deep Purple in 84 with Perfect Strangers. Did you expect the success that you got with the album?
Not really. I think if we'd been expecting success, it would have been an anticlimax. I think there was a feeling in the band that because the reunion had been talked about for so many years, it had become almost a cause célèbre. The reunion of Deep Purple was therefore big news, and I think the reunion itself would cause a lot of curiosity. And I think initially that first album and the first tour was successful because people were so curious as to what we would sound like after 11 years apart. Now, I don't think people are so curious because it's now our second album of the reunion, and we've proved the fact that we didn't come back just for one record, that we actually back together for good. And so the curiosity value has lost us.
De ventet at folk var nysgjerrige på Perfect Strangers, siden de ikke hadde spilt sammen på 11 år, men de hadde ikke regnet med så stor oppmerksomhet. Det andre albumet etter gjenforenelsen var mer gjennomført, og folk var ikke så nysgjerrige på det, nå som de hadde bevist at det ikke var en engangsforeteelse, de I sammen igjen for godt. Nyhetens interesse borte, men de gjør ny musikk og gammel musikk, og venter at folk kommer for å se på hva de gjør nå. Men det må da være vanskelig å plukke ut låtene til konsertene?
Well, not all songs that we record are necessarily good stage songs. You know, what makes a good stage song isn't always what makes a good studio song. And there are loads of songs that we've recorded that are good on record, but we don't play them very well live. So it's not that difficult because the basis of our stage act was the Machine Head album in the old days, and we still use that as the same basis, but we put the new songs in. So it's not that difficult. I think we weren't a singles band really. We didn't have a lot of hit singles, but we had certain songs were very popular. Child in Time, for example, was a very popular song. It was never a single, as far as I know anyway. So it's album cuts, and we know what ones were successful because we know how the audience reacts to them. So it's actually not that difficult.
Ikke alle låtene vi har gode live-sanger, og noen bra på plate, men vi spiller den ikke særlig bra live. Vi vet hvilke låter som suksesser, vi ser hvordan publikum reagerer på dem, så det ikke så veldig vanskelig å velge. Dere blir beskrevet som bandet som forandret rock'n'roll totalt. Hva syns Roger Glover om det?
Well, it's all very nice, but I don't take it too seriously. I don't think we changed the face of rock and roll. I think we were part of a movement that started something.
Yeah.
But how can I live with myself if I thought that I was that important? You know?
The difference between Perfect Strangers and the House of the Blue Light. You think that Perfect Strangers was more a rock and roll album than the House of the New?
It was different. I don't know how it was different. I think from our point of view, Perfect Strangers was a very natural album to make. We didn't try very hard. We just sat around and wrote songs. With the House of Blue Light, I think we were concerned that after the success of Perfect Strangers that we had to come up with a really, really good album. And I think we tried too hard. You know, it is probably a lighter album. And I think because of that, the next album will be twice as hard. You know, so every album goes in phases, you know.
Vi prøvde ikke så hardt på Perfect Strangers. Det gikk mer av seg selv. Vi bare satte oss ned og lagde låter. House of the Blue Light ble et mye lettere album, og vi ville gjøre det bra, og kanskje vi prøvde litt for mye. Det vanskelig å vite hvordan platene blir før du ferdig med dem. Vi går alltid I studio med samme innstilling, men resultatet blir alltid forskjellige. Ryktene sier at det kommer en solo-LP med Roger Glover og Ian Gillan. Dette sant?
Yes, we've almost finished it.
What's it going to be like?
Nothing like Deep Purple. It's really an album about the joys of writing songs, and we write songs all the time. You know, I love writing songs, and so does Ian. And sometimes when you write a song that doesn't necessarily fit Deep Purple, then you must do something else with it. So we've decided that in the last few years we feel very strong as songwriters, and so we wanted to put some of the songs that don't fit Deep Purple down on a record and release it.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of different kinds of music on it.
Yeah, and there's a new album from Deep Purple coming out too, a live album?
Well, that we hope.
You hope?
We've been recording these shows. We're going to be recording tonight. You know, we have a 24 track at all the shows, and I think by the time we finish this tour we should have about 20 to 30 shows on tape.
Det kommer altså en solo-LP med Roger Glover og Ian Gillan, og de skriver masse låter selv som de ikke får brukt i Deep Purple, så de har da bestemt seg for å samarbeide. Og ryktene sier også at Deep Purple skal komme med en live-LP. De har med seg en 24-spors maskin som de har med på hvert eneste show, og de har tatt opp en 30-40 sanger som de har tenkt å sette seg ned og høre på når de ferdig med turneen. Så da får vi også håpe at det kommer en flott live-LP fra Deep Purple.